So following up on the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock video, as I expressed in the previous video, everyone is talking about it. Everyone. And this goes right on over into indie media on top of that, right? So, I stumbled across what Kyle Kulinski thought about it. Now, personally speaking, I can't really say that I really disagree with a lot of what Kyle said. What I found to be in stark contrast was that in reference to Will Smith getting up and slapping Chris Rock over Chris Rock making a joke in reference to Will Smith's wife, potentially knowingly that she had a medical condition and referencing it towards that medical condition. We don't know for sure if Chris Rock knew it or not, and personally, I don't think he did. But there are some who think that he did. So, and we haven't heard Chris Rock issue a statement on it, so we don't really know. But Kyle's take on that is that what Will Smith did was just absolutely wrong. He acted inappropriately, and he should not have done the things that he did. He should not have gotten up, walked up on stage, and slapped the man for it. Now, that's Kyle's stance on that one, okay? I'm going to roll the clip. This is exactly what he had to say about what Will Smith did in response to Chris Rock's joke. Take a look.
But, I don't think he knew she had alopecia, first of all. But second of all, even if he did, and we'll get to more on this in a little bit, but even if he did, the joke is still fair game. Now, again, I'm going to come back to that in a little bit. Now, I'm going to get to the main point in a second, and the main point is something that I'm concrete on. Like, I'm not budging on the main point at all. Is this acceptable? For the life of me, I cannot understand how anybody can say yes. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Because I guess people are trying to sympathize with Will, and they're saying, hey, somebody said something really fucked up about your wife, and so now you're going to, stand up for your wife or whatever, and it's the macho thing to do. Guys, I regret to inform you, that is indeed not the macho thing to do. That is the petty, insecure, and fragile thing to do. That is the least macho thing that anybody could ever do. So you're going to resort to physical violence over words. Over words. I was just tweeting about this. There's a reason why the First Amendment protects free expression, free speech, freedom of religion. Part of free expression and free speech, you're allowed to joke without the government suppressing you. So, and the idea is there shouldn't be physical violence imparted on people, or you shouldn't be locked in a cage because of words. And so this is a joke. Now, you could say it was a mean joke. You could say it was a bad joke. But to resort to physical violence, telling a joke and resorting to physical violence are in totally different moral universes. Never mind just moral categories, totally different universes. Obviously, the violence is a colossal escalation. And you got to keep it real, man. If you're somebody who is in a position of, being a celebrity, being known, that's par for the course, dog. If you've achieved any level of celebrity or public acknowledgement, doesn't matter how small, that's going to happen. It's going to happen where people are going to make fun of you. People are going to shit on you. People are going to despise you. People might make hate accounts around you. That's what happens. And look, it's just everything balances out, because at the same time, Will Smith is viewed as one of the greatest actors of all time. And so many people love him. And so, of course, there's going to be some percentage of people who don't.
Okay, so big takeaway there is that he does not condone what Will Smith did. He does not condone the violence. He even said that Chris Rock making a joke over Jada Pinkett Smith potentially having alopecia is fair game. So what Kyle is saying there is that it is okay for you to make jokes about someone's medical conditions, and that it is fair game because it's all part of comedy. Ha ha ha. Okay? Now that's what Kyle said about that. Rewind back 8-9 months ago. Does anyone seem to remember when the whole TYT and Jimmy Dore and Anna Kasparian and all that blew up, and Anna Kasparian was trying to Me Too Jimmy Dore? People remember that. I remember that, right? I even invited 3 ladies on to debate what took place on that occasion. Okay? The story was that Anna was wearing an extremely short skirt to work. As Jimmy Dore has described it, something that he would not consider work appropriate. Okay? And she dropped something and bent over, okay? And he made a remark because, according to him, he could see her butt and her thong as a result. He made the remark, "Nice news skirt." This offended her. Does anyone remember all of this? Okay, if you're on the same page with me, what is Chris Rock? Stand-up comedian. What is Jimmy Dore? Stand-up comedian, right? But when Kyle finally had to step in and give his take on it, well, his take, at first, he tried to kind of tepidly say he didn't even care about Jimmy Dore making the joke, but then he does also reference the fact that he said it in front of her students, which humiliated her in front of her students, basically, as if that's makes it not okay anymore. So what's the difference between someone making a joke at someone's expense and humiliating them in front of their students, as opposed to someone making a joke over potentially someone's medical condition that humiliates them, not only in front of the whole room of people, not only in front of her husband, but in front of everyone watching on TV at home? Let me get that right. So humiliating someone in a private environment where there's not a live audience watching from home, but you did it in front of her students, makes it a problem. But making a joke that humiliates someone potentially in front of a room full of celebrities and a camera dead on them showing this to everyone at home is fair game. Seems a little odd, right? But we ain't even got to the biggest hypocrisy here yet. Okay? We hadn't even got to the meat of the matter. Because what he said about what Jimmy Dore's comments were between that and then what Jimmy Dore did to explain it was he was saying that it wasn't work appropriate. It wasn't work appropriate. Okay? And Kyle's response was that if someone said that about his girlfriend, he would hit them. Don't believe me? I'll let the man tell you for himself.
And understand something, guys. My issue is actually not with the original incident that Jimmy's talking about there. Now, to be fair, Jimmy says, hey, it was a bad joke. Anna says it wasn't a bad joke. It was Jimmy commenting on me in a sexual way in front of my students. Her students were in the room at the time. Now, I wasn't there. I'll never know exactly what happened. I don't think Jimmy's a sex pest. I don't think he's a criminal. I don't think this is a hashtag Me Too thing. But my issue with the thing we just saw is what he just said right there. Oh, she dresses inappropriate. Inappropriate? Who the fuck are you to determine what isn't appropriate for her? Are you a fundamentalist Christian? I mean, that's like some hardcore Republican thing to say. And if I'm being objective about this, even though Jimmy's my friend, if somebody spoke about my mom or my sister or my girlfriend like that, it would take every fiber of my being to not want to beat the shit out of them. Because that's humiliating. And he admits that it was a humiliating thing in the segment, but then it doesn't occur to you that maybe bringing this up again and talking about it in the way you're talking about it is like gonna humiliate her yet again? That doesn't occur to you? So listen, I just look at that and I think, that's kind of gross.
So let's be clear. Something doesn't add up here, does it? How are you going to tell me that a man who, playing the devil's advocate here, could have interpreted what was said as a guy being an ass to his wife? Now, again, Will Smith did laugh at the joke to start with. I don't think that's how Will Smith took it to start with. If he got up and did it, I think he just did it because he saw his wife was irritated. Best case scenario for Will Smith, right? Worst case scenario, the dude has got mental problems now and he's unhinged. Okay? But best case scenario, he saw his wife was upset. It was like, I got to defend my wife's honor. Okay? Some old Southern chivalry type stuff or whatever. You defend your woman or whatever, right? And he kind of referenced that in his acceptance speech. So who knows? But him going and doing that, not okay. Not okay. Now, let's be clear, Kyle. Okay? The same reason that Chris Rock was able to make his joke about someone's hairstyle applies to the exact same way Jimmy Dore made his joke about Anna Kasparian. She presented herself in a way where the things that became the butt of the joke were made very obvious for everyone to see. Now, one was more arguably inappropriate than the other. In Jada Pinkett Smith's case, this is just her hairstyle. Anna Kasparian is wearing short skirts that can be interpreted as being provocative, and she's wearing them in a work environment. You know what I mean? So you tell me which one kind of stands out more in the room. Someone's hairstyle or someone wearing a very short skirt where if they bent over, you can see the goods. You tell me which one stands out more. But what Kyle was saying, his problem with what Jimmy said was basically you wore something inappropriate. By you wearing that, you opened it up for me to make the joke. And who are you to tell someone what they can wear? Now, granted, Chris Rock did not tell Jada she should have put a wig on. He didn't even make a joke about that. But that's how the joke was formulated. That's how it came about in the first place. And so for Kyle to sit there and nitpick Jimmy Dore saying that she shouldn't have wore the skirt in there. Well, if she hadn't wore the skirt in there, you wouldn't have anything to make a joke about. So, Kyle, where do you really stand on this matter? Because you're saying that if someone made the joke in reference to your girlfriend that Jimmy made about Anna and said basically you wore something inappropriate and you shouldn't have wore that if you didn't want me to make the joke, for that, you'd hit him. But for someone to arguably, worst case scenario for Chris Rock here, be making a joke about someone's medical condition right in front of their own husband, and the argument is, well, your bald head's right there, so it was there for me to make a joke out of, well, that's fair game, and Will Smith should not have gone up on stage and hit the man. That's hypocritical. That's very hypocritical. Which brings up the question, so why did you not make that same argument last year? See, and believe it or not, I was one of the people at the time, even though was and still currently way more of a Jimmy Dore, supporter than Kyle, which I really am not a Kyle Kulinski supporter at all anymore. At the time, I at least try to make the argument like, hey, I can understand not wanting to get in the middle of this thing, right? I can't give him the benefit of the doubt on like anything anymore because I heard his argument back then. I said, okay, well, maybe I can see what he's saying. But you just contradicted a huge part of that, dude. A huge part of it. So, again, like, is this guy trustworthy at all? I know a lot of people who watch my channel already think he's not, so maybe I'm just preaching to the choir by making this video, but, dude, this is massive hypocrisy. I even put a live chat in the other night on Jimmy Dore's stream bringing up that very point. It's like, really? Dude, you would punch out Jimmy Dore for saying what he said, but Will Smith was in 100% in the wrong for going up there and doing what he did when someone humiliated his wife. Make that make sense for me. Make that make sense. So what do you guys think? Why do you think Kyle all of a sudden changed up his stance on when violence is acceptable after jokes and humiliation, basically. Why do you think he changed up the stance? Do you think it's coincidental? Do you think it had just something to do with the fact he was trying to find something to try to ride the middle between TYT and Jimmy Dore when he made that video last year? Do you think he's just that much of an absolute hypocrite? Or just let me know what you know about or what you think about this situation in general and what's going on here. Let me know in the comment box down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you just found the channel and you like this, make sure you also hit that subscribe button. And if you do, ring the bell or you'll never know when I upload another one. That's just how YouTube operates. But appreciate you stopping by to check out the video. Hope you're all doing well. We'll see you right here next time on the Lone Wolf Podcast. Take care, everyone.